Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to my video blog. My name is Troy. I know I haven't made a video in some time, but I have been compelled to amplify my voice and my feelings about a subject that is very important to me. I want to discuss the recent murders of trans women. At the taping of this vid, there have been about 20 murders of trans women. 17 of those have been trans women of color. The most disturbing aspect of these murders is that most of them were committed by their intimate partners. A subset of that is the murderers are men of color. It's kind of hard to swallow. It's kind of hard to swallow that trans attracted men are killing, murdering, causing extreme violence on the women they're supposed to love. More disturbingly, these trans women of color, who are the most vulnerable part of our society, are the targets. I want to touch on a few of the names of some of the fallen sisters and talk about how they were killed. And please forgive me. I don't want to trigger anything, but I want to point out something. And as this video goes on, you'll see where it's going. Taja de Jesus, she was stabbed multiple times. Christina Grant Infinity was killed by her very own boyfriend in their own home. Yasmin Vash Payne, she was also killed by her boyfriend, also stabbed. Tamara Dominguez was run over by a car multiple times. Not hit by a car, but run over. Not once, not twice, but multiple times. This is very disturbing. These crimes are crimes of passion. These crimes are committed by people who have intimate knowledge of these women, their partners, trans attracted men. It is disturbing and troubling to be a trans attracted man, to look at my social media feed or some of the news feeds that I get on my phone and see an article with the title, Trans Woman Murdered. I know trans women all over the country. I take a deep breath and I pray, and I'm not the most religious man in the world, but I pray that it's not someone I know. I pray that's a lot. That's a lot to take. That's a lot to think about. It makes me emotional that one of my friends, one of my exes, could be dead for no other reason than a cowardly man decided to take her life. I'm going to address trans attracted men and this down low status and how absolutely horrible it is in a little bit. There's a couple of other murders here in the Metro Detroit area where I live that are also disturbing. Ashton O'Hara and Amber Monroe were both killed in the same area. They call it the Stroll. in Detroit, but several other girls have died over the last few years in that area. The Detroit News said that the Detroit police, seem to think there is a serial killer targeting trans women. That's hard to sink in. That's hard to think about. Trans attracted men, I'm talking directly to you, whether you are in the closet or not, but especially those who are in the closet. You are cowards. You are scared little children who need to go away. Been doing a lot of thinking over the past few months, reading, contemplating, evolving. One thing that I do know, that trans women have a strength of character that is amazing. The power in living your truth unapologetically in a society that demonizes you on every single level: employment, housing, healthcare, law enforcement. Every aspect of your life, you have to fight, and you have to stand tall and be yourself. Having that strength, having that power to do that in spite of the hurdles that you have to go through is absolutely amazing, and it's incredible. Only the truly strong-willed, only special people can accomplish this. To you brothers on the DL, how dare you try to steal their shine? How dare you try to bask in that aura? You're afraid to live your truth. Now, I do run a Facebook group, and a man who had a fake profile, fake name, he was in the group. We don't usually allow men like that into our group, but I can't convert the converted, so to speak. We can't reach out to people who already are open, because there are a number of trans attracted men who are open in their relationships. So I've been taking the opportunity to reach out to these men who are still struggling. One individual keeps saying that he's afraid. At the end of the day, what is he truly afraid of? He's afraid of what might happen. He's afraid of what people might say. He's afraid of something in the future that may or may not ever manifest itself. And yet, the woman he decides to creep with at 2 in the morning, who lives her life every day in constant danger, because let's keep it real, it's not an easy existence. And you want to take your cowardly ass and steal her energy and steal her light. I have a problem with that. And I challenge trans women on a number of occasions, asking them how long is too long to wait for a guy to come around to complete his transition, to finally change and live in his truth. No one seems to have an answer for that. I'll ask you to make comments in the comment section. Is it a year? Is it 2.5 years? Is it 5 years? Where do you stop? Where do you finally have the guts to stand in the light next to these women who do it every single minute of their existence. Allowing yourself to be with these women and you down low men, killing them, taking their life because of your fear and cowardice is the lowest thing that you could do. And I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of hearing excuses from men being afraid of what they may lose. It doesn't make you any less of a man. I have been out and open for about 15 years. Every aspect of my life, people know that I happen to date trans women. I don't wear a t-shirt that says I only date trans women, but because I'm vocal on social media, I'm vocal, I have my YouTube page, and I speak up when I do see injustice. People know. So what? It hasn't hurt me. It hasn't affected me. It hasn't made me any less of a man. I may be lucky. I haven't had any friends or family run away from me, but I'm living my truth. And living your truth is truly a powerful thing to do. It's a wonderful thing to do. Guys, you got to step up your game or get out of the way, because you are the murderers. You are the killers. Your fear, your refusal to accept yourselves is turning into rage and turning you into killers. Why? I don't have the answer to that, but I'm tired of these cowards. I'm tired of these cowards sneaking around in the dark like roaches. I have written a book that has been done for a while, and I've been reluctant to publish it. It's very, very raw. It talks about my struggles unapologetically. It talks about some things that are uncomfortable talking about. But the time is now, because we don't have, as trans attracted men, any role models. I've been doing this a while, and there are a few people who have written. I'll give a shout out to a couple of my brothers, Jose and Thomas, who have written articles for Huffington Post, who have stepped up and are living their truth, standing beside their women proudly. I applaud you, brothers. Much love, and I do have your back. There are more of us out there. We can no longer sit on the sidelines while these ladies are dying. We can't do it. We cannot sit on the sideline while other trans attracted men are their killers, are on a DL, and all of the hurt that they cause. They cause real hurt. And let me say this once again to all of the people who think that I am sanctimonious or what have you. I have talked about my past and how much of a fucking bastard I was. I was married. I was on a DL. I had trans women as side pieces. I was lying to everyone, including myself. I was not always a good guy. I have never shied away from that. I have never shied away from the things that I've done wrong. I've owned up to them. I've made peace with them. And I've evolved and I've become a better person. That's why I do this series. Again, this is directed towards trans attracted men. You must step up. You must up your game, because now we are watching. My friend Tona Brown and I are attempting to put together a panel for a bunch of trans attracted men to have an open and candid discussion about who we are, how we feel, and what we want. I'm making a public request that if you are interested, that you can contact me through my YouTube page or through Facebook and let me know. We're going to attempt to do this on the East Coast in February. It's time for trans attracted men who care, who are out, and who truly love trans women to step up. Are you one of them? Thank you for this time, ladies and gentlemen. Good night.